The gentlelady from Texas, Ms. Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I too want to thank all the witnesses and thank you for your patience, and to many of you in the audience. I know I saw you this morning at the press conference, and you know that there is a lot of commitment here. There's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of hard work being put in place to make sure that this, in fact, does get done, and we'll continue to fight not only today but tomorrow until we make sure that it does. And Bishop, I want to thank you for reminding us today is the beginning of the Lenten season, and that it is about forgiveness and it is about acceptance. And for me, as someone who considers herself as someone that relies a lot on my faith in terms of the foundation of who I am, I can tell you that when you quoted in your written testimony, you know, I was a stranger and you were welcomed here. That is the bottom line for this discussion, is it not? Is it not about welcoming the stranger? Is it not about dignity and respect? And I wanted to start with you because there used to be an old regulation that was written, old flyer and regulation that they used to practice in ICE, where they would consider some places safe community places, including schools and churches and courthouses and hospitals, funerals and weddings. For some of us, I would add quinceañeras, but any place of community gathering. So are you concerned that some of the ICE activity and some of the things that are going on may someday impact the workings of the church? Not only your church, by the way, but all places of worship.
All places of worship, yes. Unfortunately, we have learned through the years that, yes, there have been presence of ICE in these places. Fortunately, the churches, the pastors, the people who are around themselves, they defend them, and they have been always very careful about this kind of illegal activity, because it's freedom of religion and freedom of worship. For I really think that that's something that we really need to continue to sponsor. Now, what you're saying about faith and community, it works together. It's not only what we believe, but what we build as a community of believers. And there is when there are solidarity, fraternity, and we ensure that these youngsters, kids, families are going to continue to thrive because they feel like fed by the community that is surrounding them with love and support.
No, we want them all to reach God's potential, and certainly, you know, continuing these programs and assuring full citizenship and full immigration reform is the goal. And I wanted now to turn to Ms. Reese. You said in your written testimony that the core of DACA is the idea that immigrant youth should be protected without hurting other immigrants, without building more detention camps, hiring more deportation agents, or ripping apart any more families. Tell me why you believe that in like a short phrase or two, so that I can move on and ask all the DACA recipients the same question.
I believe that I'm here not just out of my own accord. My mother is the reason that I'm here. She's the reason that I've been able to accomplish everything that I've accomplished. And our stories are very intertwined. You can't separate our stories, and that's why I believe that you can't give me protection and intend to harm the very woman who has given everything for me without harming me too.
So you want to keep your family together?
Correct. And I keep hearing this idea of teen migration. I would like to say that it's family reunification, and I think that
absolutely
that is a value that we have in our country.
All right. And Mr. Palma, what about you, sir? Do you agree with her statement?
Absolutely. I think it's many people are facing the reality of being separated, and I think we should be looking forward to keep families together, which is one of the big values in any society.
All right, and I can't see your name from here, but I wanted all of you to respond to the same question.
Congresswoman, thank you for your question. And so, you know, sometimes I get discouraged about, the discourse and the dialogue around
So
immigration.
please don't, there is hope.
Right. And I think when I do get discouraged, I just look at my father's hands. They're rough and coarse and broken because of the kind of work that my parents do ultimately for me. And I think I stand before you today as a DACA recipient, but my achievements and my ability to have succeeded in America does not exist without my parents. It doesn't exist without the community. And so I think that's important for this committee to consider.
All right, and ma'am?
I believe that it's impossible for me to be where I am today without my family members. Their love and support has made it possible for me to continue my education, and there's nothing I wouldn't be able to do without the Liberian community in general. And so that's why it's important for us to keep our families together, because they provide us the support that we need.